Good morning to all of you out there. Merry Christmas. Una-unahan lang yan okay? Merry Christmas to all of you. Although it's still, a couple of weeks away. Inuunahan ko na lang kayo because some of you might call me the Grinch. In any case, today is December 14, 2021. It's a Tuesday. Medyo makulimlim po dito sa Barrio Capitolio, Pasig, where we are broadcasting this morning, and we welcome you to the program agenda. I'm your host, Cito Beltran, thanking you for being subscribers of Cignal TV and viewers of One News PH via channels 8 and 250. Thank you for the support of PLDT Home Fiber Optic Internet. Walang laylay, walang laglag. Always consistent, and it really makes a big difference. Now, today, we will be focusing on two subject matters. One, hopefully, pinipilit pa natin siya makakuha. We invited Mr. Art Samaniego, that cybersecurity analyst specialist who has been giving us a lot of tips and information regarding cybersecurity, because as many of you already know, particularly because of social media, a couple of banks have been victimized by online hacking. Kumbaga, bank hacking. Dati po, ang pinag-uusapan natin, which I also wrote because of our reader, Oliver Tan, we were talking about SIM swap, which is used to get the one-time password to access the bank accounts. But now it seems that it's the bank that's being hacked into, money being taken, transferred to another bank, and then that money being used to buy Bitcoin in the dark web. Now, matagal lang pinag-uusapan. Actually, huli na po ang inyong Kuya Cito. I'm actually on the tail end of this story. However, we're continuing to pick it up because, for all intents and purposes, we were talking about this months ago. But the problem is the banking industry was kind of being very quiet on the matter, although they were doing things, but they weren't as proactive in their defense posturing. And I remember my fellow columnist in the Philippine Star, Bu Chanko, even wrote several times about calling on the central bank, BSP, to step in and do something about this problem. But it seems that not much was discussed or addressed publicly. And now the public is outraged to find out that even banks are being hacked. So hopefully we will get Art Samaniego later in the program. And then after that or before that, depending on who comes up first, we will be interviewing a young man. And alam nyo po, every 40 years ba or 50 years, as the case may be, 40 years naman, someone, a young Filipino comes up with showmanship in terms of creativity, etc. I remember back in the late 70s, early 80s, I remember seeing a young man who came up with a car he built on his own, body design, etc. Parang Ferrari, parang kit the car, yung dun sa yung kay yung TV series. And I was impressed. I said, well, if that's the brilliance or the creativity of young Filipinos, we have a future. But after that, it was 40 years later, 40 years later, we now have a very young guy coming up with using, the concept is yung drone technology into a flying car. The flying car inventor, which is very interesting mamaya pag nakita nyo yung kanyang biodata or nadinig ninyo. Kyxz Kyxz Mendiola, okay? Built a flying car. Hindi po ito pantasya, no? Because back in the 70s, we were dreaming of James Bond and his jetpack. Eh, but now hindi na jetpack kasi si James Bond noon only traveled what 100 meters or less on that jet propelled backpack. But now we have a young Filipino who built a drone technology based flying car. So we will have Kyxz Mendiola in a short while. But first, let's go to our daily starter and then we'll go to the front page of the Philippine Star. And our daily starter for today is from Ephesians 6:18 NIV, New International Version. And pray in the Spirit on all occasions, with all kinds of prayers and requests. With this in mind, be alert and always keep on praying for all the Lord's people. Okay, now I chose this. We originally were going to supposed to flash a Christmas greeting to all of you because magpapasko na nga, but I chose this one in particular because I was reminded of a conversation I had over dinner with a friend last night. And he shared with me because I asked him, what happened to you? You seem to have just fallen out of circulation. The last month, you were so quiet. You weren't even responding to texts as actively as you used to. And my friend said, actually, bro, my daughter had a very adverse reaction or had an adverse reaction, had allergy or something to the vaccine or something. But his daughter got sick. And for 6 days, they were very, very worried about the situation. And thankfully, thank God, the daughter recovered. And I said, so why didn't you let us know? And he said, well, I just thought, we just keep it to ourselves and just watch over her and take care of her, etc. Which I respect. Many of us want our privacy, especially during difficult times. There are wives or family who don't want people to know that the head of the family is in the hospital or struggling, etc. But I pointed out to my friend, you don't lose anything by calling out. You don't lose anything by asking for prayers, especially from your friends, family members. And I pointed out to him that even I call out to people online on Facebook to pray for others. And I said, you know what? It generates so much positivity and brings good results. And I pointed out to him the many cases where we called for prayers on Facebook, and those prayers were answered by the Lord. So I chose Ephesians 6:18 today. Pray in the Spirit on all occasions with all kinds of prayers and requests. With this in mind, be alert and always keep on praying for all the Lord's people. Kasi yan po ang utos ng Diyos. God told us that. Jesus Christ gave us that instruction. And it was with a purpose and an intent. So I hope you picked that up today. Now let's go to the front page of the Philippine Star. December 14, Tuesday. Ball not dropped in syringe deal, DOH. Duque on Locsin, tweet ng tweet ito. Okay, mabuti, hindi nagmura. Okay, it seems that we have angry birds in Malacanang or at least in the cabinet of President Rodrigo Duterte as Foreign Affairs Secretary Teddy Boy Locsin and DOH Secretary Francisco Duque start hurling statements. Hindi naman accusation. Wala naman nag-accuse eh. Statements against each other or against the involving a certain matter. And according to this news article, Secretary Duque pointed out that the DOH has to follow uh, the Procurement Act, Republic Act 9184, or the Procurement Act, where it sets a particular budget and a particular price or a standard, and therefore they have to follow that. And they cannot go above the prescribed prices or budget, which, on the other hand, Secretary Locsin is pointing out, I have 50 million syringes here, 3 or 4 cents more expensive, but I have syringes. You have money, but you don't have syringes. So, kumbaga, just towards the same goal, different perspective. But unfortunately, it is getting personal, or heading towards getting personal, as Secretary Locsin reacted to the statement of Secretary Duque. Secretary Duque is quoted as saying, tweet ng tweet ito, hindi man lang ako tawagan. And added that he will discuss the matter with the president. Ayan na, sumbungan na kay Tatay Digong as usual. And Secretary Locsin tweeted back, don't ever, Duque, ever question my motives. Ayan na po. Kanya, pareho na silang nasa front page. Okay. Ewan ko ba itong mga nagtatanong kanino raw tayo, sino raw ang presidente. Pumili kayo ng sarili niyong presidente. Okay. Typhoon Odette to bring heavy rains, strong winds to Visayas, Mindanao. In a replay of December 2019, here we go again. We have a typhoon bearing down on Visayas, Mindanao area, and promises to bring strong winds and heavy rain. Mag-ingat po kayo, because the last time this happened, I remember we came from Batangas, crossed over to Mindoro, went to Katiklan, went to Iloilo, etc. Naghahabulan po kami nung bagyo back then, and I remember the town of Rojas being devastated. So our friends, viewers in that area, please prepare already. Prepare your dwellings and your farms. Okay. Back. Okay, BSP urged, be transparent in probe of bank hacking. Senator Grace Poe and other senators, including Joel Villanueva and members of Congress or the lower house, have called on the BSP to immediately investigate the bank hacking incidents involving, well, hindi ko na muna sasabihin. Mamaya na natin pag-usapan yan. But Senator Grace Poe pointed out that banking is a matter of trust, and Senator Joel Villanueva correctly pointed out that we cannot give the impression that we have a porous banking system easily hacked by brilliant hackers and the money stolen, kasi masisira po ang banking industry. And there are now moves both on the opposition and pro-administration groups for BSP to publicly investigate this. And I suppose there will be oncoming congressional hearings on the matter. Okie-dokie. COVID active cases as of December 13, 360. Bumaba na naman po. Thank you, Lord. Because in the past few days, nag-400, nag-500 pa the other day. And the number of deaths, finally, we are down to 2 digits na lang, 61 deaths. But we are already at 50,341 Filipinos dying because of COVID-19. So, yun po, medyo good news na rin ito. 360 na lang all over the Philippines, and deaths are down to 61. Okay. Next up, we have the ano na ba yan? Ano na ba yan? Ha? Parang page na yan eh. Yan yung kanina. Okay, yung court. Yung court drops. Oo, okay. 250 million. Oh, medyo nagkakalituhan kami. $250 million ADB funding secured for boosters. The Philippines has secured $250 million or 12.57 billion in fresh funding from the Asian Development Bank for the procurement of 40 million additional doses of COVID-19. Okay, vaccine. And kahapon po, I got a press release from the Dutch embassy, the embassy of the Netherlands, that they had donated. I think, and will not claim a good memory on this one. I think they donated 1.5 million doses of the Johnson or Johnson and Johnson Bion vaccine. So, okay, the ADB gave us that amount of money. So, may pambili na naman tayo. Ang tanong, saan tayo kukuha ng pambayad ng utang? Okay, COMELEC on deferring 2022 polls. Ridiculous! Okay. After receiving the petition of the Coalition for Life and Democracy seeking the postponement of the May 9 local and national elections to 2023, the COMELEC responded through its spokesperson stating that it is both unconstitutional and ridiculous because the Constitution states that we must hold elections on certain dates and every so many number of years. Okay, every 6 years, 3 or 6 years. Okay, and 488 towns and 58 cities tagged as poll hotspots. Yung pong poll hotspots, hindi po yan hotpot, ha? Hindi po yan kainan. Yan yung kumbaga saan mainit ang politika. Ha? Poll hotspots meaning the political contest in those towns and cities are considered very sensitive, very competitive, and highly dangerous, so that the PNP and the AFP will in all likelihood double its presence in those areas. Okay, that's according to the PNP. Marami-rami, no? 488 municipalities and 58 cities. Okay. So, that's it. So, paghandaan nyo na lang kung kayo nakatira dyan, mag-ingat kayo. Okay, the United Kingdom faces a tidal wave of Omicron cases. According to the Prime Minister of the UK, their nation faces a great challenge, so much so that they are doubling up their efforts for its citizens, British nationals, to get the third dose and to vaccinate anyone and everyone as soon as possible, because sila po talaga yung naging gateway to EU from South Africa. There were so many residents or travelers coming and entering EU, and by the time they figured it out, it had already spread in the nation. So they're now trying to control it, but that's the problem, and that is what we here in the Philippines are trying to avoid. Okie dokie. And yun, Indian beauty crowned Miss U, okay? Miss Universe, okay. Newly crowned Miss Universe 2021, Harnaas Handu of India, okay? Won this year's the 70th Miss Universe pageant in Eilat, Israel yesterday, while our candidate, Beatrice Gomez came in the top 5. Okay, okay yan. Basta nanalo tayo. Hindi naman, hindi nanalo. Pumasok tayo. Ganyan talaga. Hindi naman pwedeng taon-taon piyesta tayo, no? Okay. So, congratulations to Miss India for being the new Miss Universe. Okay. And do we have anything? Okay. Philippines lauded for genome sequencing capacity. The World Health Organization yesterday lauded the Philippines for its genomic sequencing capacity to detect the variants of COVID-19. World WHO commends the Philippines for its genome sequencing capacity. You are doing a lot more genome sequencing than many other countries in the region, said WHO Country Representative Rabindra Abeya Singh. Okay, so ayan po, no, now bigyan pa ng maraming pondo ang Philippine Genome Center. Yan naman na sinasabi sa inyo, Center of Excellence, pondohan. Center of dispute, tanggalan ng pinuno. Okay, yan na. Okay. Now, let's now go to the main part of our program. Let's go to our first interview. Kyxz Mendiola. He has a Bachelor of Science in Culinary Management. I repeat, Bachelor of Science in Culinary Management at the Centro Escolar University. Tapos, International Aerial Cinematographer and Creative Director of Hexaca Media and EMAV Head Engineer. Ngayon bigla siyang naging flying car pilot. So medyo ang hirap pag tagpi-tagpain, no? Anyway, let's bring in Kyxz Mendiola with his drone inspired flying car. Kyxz, are you there? Trying. Ayan na, sinasabi. Kailangan. Ayun, si Kyxz. Good morning, Kyxz. Okay, I think you're on mute, Kyxz.
There you go.
Okay, there you go. Okay, I can hear you now. Good morning. Oops. Okay, Kyxz, can you tell us about this fantastic project that you did? Medyo biglang naalala ko yung mga araw ko na nanonood ng James Bond.
First of all, thank you for having me here. And narinig ko po yung yung intro nyo, sobrang grabe naman na intro yun. I really appreciate it. Has it been 40 years since the Aurelio was done?
Well, no, it's
40 years. About Aurelio?
I don't know if we're talking about the same vehicle, but I remember 40 years ago, I saw a young guy, just about your age at that time, who came up with this car that looked like a Ferrari, and he ended up being recruited in the United States by a car company. So, now, biglang nakita naman kita, sabi ko, aba, meron na namang Filipino inventor na bata. What is the future for this young man? And with the
bata lang yung itsura.
Okay, wag mo na aminin, ikaw naman. Okay. So, Kyxz,
but yeah, I appreciate it.
How did you go about developing this flying car? I hope we have a video here on the program. But when I saw it on Facebook, I was quite amazed.
Yeah. So by profession, I'm actually a dancer for the longest time.
Mm-hmm.
I pursued hip hop dancing as a career on my 20s and 30s. Tapos we became popular around the world because we won a lot of competitions internationally. I'm talking about my group, Philippine All Stars. So we represented Philippines sa Las Vegas, sa UK. We also competed in Africa, Switzerland, and medyo pinalad po kami na madami kaming naiuwi ng mga gold medals. Tapos because of that, we started going on tours. We got offers to travel the world, doing what we love. And through my years of competing and dancing, na I met a lot of mga videographer at saka mga creators, mga filmmakers, and doon ako na-expose doon sa line of filming. So I got interested, and because I'm a very creative person, I like the idea of how they work, which they create stories, they create basically movies and commercials. So I got attracted to that, and I started learning it, and it became my work after dancing or while I was dancing at the same time. It became my work. It became my small business, personal business. And then diyan na po lumabas yung nauso na yung mga drones. Back then hindi pa po siya sikat. Actually what we were using we're using yung mga gas operated na helicopter. Mga po siya, kasing laki halos ng mga isang motorsiklo yung laki ng mga helicopter. And
yung mga remote control.
Yes, and that's yan po yung nagbibitbit ng mga malalaking camera back then. And I became a pilot for that, for a company called Kyxz Media. So we were filming, ako nga po yung nag-shoot nung nung aerial scenes ng General Luna.
Okay.
So yung mga shots na nasa bundok po siya or yung tumatakbo yung kabayo, hinahabol ko siya ng helicopter na may camera noon. So, and I did a lot of I also did a lot of international mga scenes and commercials doing that. And then umpisa na pong makilala nag-i-start ng makilala yung drones or yung drone technology, nadi-develop na po siya sa ibang bansa. Pero sa Philippines po, hindi po masyado.
Yeah.
So what I did is, because I'm always researching for, new ways to do aerial filming. And then nakita ko po yung potential niya and I started learning and building it. Tapos, una, maliit lang po yung mga binubuhat ko na camera. I'm talking about mga GoPros.
Yeah.
So, yeah, those are like probably 200 grams or less.
Yeah.
Tapos, palaki po ng palaki. I started building drones that can carry mga DSLR, weighing around mga 3 kilos, 5 kilos. And then, from there, palaki po ng palaki to the point na I became one of the go-to guy if you need to do an aerial film carrying a heavy camera. So, ito na po yung bumubuhat na ako ng mga cameras na weighing at around 15-20 kilos kasama yung contraption ng gimbal para stable siya.
Yeah.
So, nasa 20 kilos po yan, mga ganun, 15-20 kilos. Tapos, of course, pumasok na yung curiosity na, kasi I was carrying cameras worth around 5 million, mga ganun, mga mamahalin. So, I had to learn and discipline myself that I had to build drones that is capable of safely flying this over and over and over again without any crashes or any failures. So, naging matikuloso ako sa pagbibuild ng drone and doon nang galing yung discipline ko na sobrang triple check everything before flying or before putting it on a set. Kasi sometimes I have to fly close or even beside people. And these are very big drones. You're talking about drones that almost that's almost the size of a table.
Kyxz,
And almost,
we're showing a video right now. Is that you?
Yes, po. This is when I was invited by the mayor of Baguio together with my partners Star 8 Green. So in-invite po kami for Baguio Day. Etong nakalipas na September 1. Tapos to do a demo flight. Tapos ayan po, yung mga ibang government ng Baguio, sinakyan po nila and trinay nila.
Okay. It apparently what you developed is so stable that you can literally stand on it. Kasi,
Yes po.
flying it is already a challenge, but flying it while standing on it, medyo ibang stability factor levels na yan.
Yes. That's why I pursued this technology. From cameras to people, nakita ko wala masyadong difference kasi nga sobrang safe ng technology, sobrang reliable niya. So sabi ko, I think kaya tong gamitin na pang personal aircraft or personal
Mhm.
transport kapag na-develop siya. So I started funding it on my own for about 5 to 6 years, maybe longer. Slowly funding it on the side. Every time may kitain ako, magtatabi ako ng konting pera, bibili
Mhm.
ako ng parts. Basically, nag-R&D ako mag-isa for 6 years
Yeah,
hanggang
but
sa
yeah.
makabuild po ako.
Okay, do you have any engineering or electronics background, Kicks? Kasi I mean, ako nagre-restore ako ng mga kotse, pero ang degree ko
Wow,
utos. I have a master's degree in utos. Eh hindi ko
gawin mo
hanggang
to, gawin mo.
Oo, bandang huli, napilitan na ako matutong mag-electric welding, konting-konting spot-spot, but iba eh. Doing what you did, medyo may background ka ba sa engineering and electronics?
Ngayon po, madami na because I studied at the same time while I was saving. Actually, nag-study po ako mag-isa online. I studied everything that I can about aeronautical engineering, electrical engineering, even structural engineering. I studied a lot of companies or factories that make airplane, helicopters, sports cars.
Mm-hmm.
So self-studied po ako. While I was saving money and I was working on film, I was studying. So I did that straight every day for about 5 years or even more.
Okay, my
So
question
parang
is,
gumraduate po ako online.
okay, congratulations. Really, congratulations. Now,
Salamat
may
po.
pamilya ka ba or are you single? Kasi alam mo, malaking investment yung ginawa mo na yan, and I'm sure that you were challenged by many people as you went along. Parang, hello, pakainin mo muna kami or sikasuhin mo muna si mama at si papa, etc. What were the challenges that were hurled at you as you spent so much money and so much time to achieve this?
Yes, so nung nag-umpisa po ako, I remember that day when I released a lump sum of money. Sabi ko, eto na yun, uumpisahan ko na. So I was holding it on my hand. I even took a picture of it. Pero yung cellphone ko kasi nasira na, sabi ko, eto na yun. Ito yung unang-unang investment na gagawin ko. I have to do this, make it or break it. I'm gonna do it. Kasi sabi ko
Mhm.
sa sarili ko, pag hindi ko to ginawa, and this becomes popular and I know in my gut feeling na it will be in probably 10, 20 years, sabi ko, I will regret it for the rest of my life. So
Mhm.
sabi ko, even if this breaks me down, sabi ko, if this breaks my bank, I'm gonna do it. And luckily, part po ng, actually medyo plinano ko po kasi yung buhay ko eh. It doesn't mean na it's gonna go accordingly to plan, but in a way, medyo nag-strategic ano po ako lifestyle. So, alam ko na isa sa magiging mahirap na ma-achieve ko yung mga goals ko is kapag nag-anak ako. So, unang-una po hindi po muna ako nag-anak. So, right now I'm turning 42 this Friday.
Oh,
So,
happy birthday.
thank you po. Salamat. So, I'm turning 42 this Friday. I was even telling myself, sabi ko, hindi ako mag-aanak until I'm 40, sabi ko. Para ma-accomplish ko lahat ng kailangan ko ma-accomplish. Kasi alam ko magastos kapag nag-anak ka na.
Mhm.
And nung ginagawa ko po yung project, by the time na na-finish ko yung first prototype ko, yung pinakita ko sa video na lumilipad na kulay itim, uh, I found out that my girlfriend is pregnant.
Mhm.
So, yung point po na yun yung pinakamahirap kasi ubus na po ako nung time na yon or as in paubos na ako. And then I found out nabuntis ko yung girlfriend ko. So I'm about to start a family. So sabi ko na if walang maniwala dito sa nagawa ko na prototype, kung hindi ako makakuha ng investor, Sabi ko, I'll end up probably selling this and go back to filming
Mhm.
as gonna be my regular job. But I already know na I fulfilled my promise to myself na tatapusin ko yung project hanggang sa lumipad ako. And luckily enough, nung nagawa ko yung prototype ko, ginawan ko agad siya ng promotional video because it's part of my work. So gumawa agad ako ng video para makahanap ako ng investors. And from that, it took me mga 2 to 3 months. I got 3 offers
Uh-huh.
to three different companies offering me to mass produce my prototype.
Okay. Are these local companies or are these international companies?
International po yung dalawa and yung isa po local. I ended up with the local company, Star 8 Green Tech, and they are an electric vehicle company. Pero they are also an Australian company.
Uh-huh.
So
Okay.
Australia and Philippines po sila.
Okay, now what are the plans for this? Because yung pinakita mong prototypes is you standing on one and the other one is almost like a self-contained flying
Flying car, yeah.
vehicle. Now, anong applications and what are the plans? Are there plans to mass produce this and for what
Definitely.
application?
The main goal is to mass produce this so that yung one-seater po, you're looking at more of a parang siguro in the beginning this will be like toys for the big boys,
Mhm.
or you can have this as a personal aircraft if let's say you own a big land or farm, tapos meron kang pang personal na surveillance kapag malaki yung hacienda mo or yung lote
Mhm.
mo, or let's say you have a beach resort and you want to be able to fly in front of your beach or go island to island, and
Well,
you don't have.
it has very serious security applications for border patrol, for wildlife reserves, even for sensitive facilities na involving energy and power. Diyan nagagamit yung mga yan, di ba?
Yes po. Yung maganda kasi dito, a lot of us guys, especially mga lalaki, we always dream of flying, eh. But not everyone is capable of learning how to fly a helicopter on an airplane. Kasi nga po, napakahirap niyang paliparin. It takes a lot of time, money, and discipline to be able to become a pilot.
Mhm.
But with this technology, actually, it's unheard of na merong aircraft na it takes you 1 day to learn it and you can fly it. So, yun po yung maganda dito. Yun yung naging enticing sa lahat ng mga tao or sa lahat ng mga investor na this technology is so easy to fly and it's so safe because its redundancy is amazing. Kasi yung mga traditional po natin na helicopter and airplane, it relies on a single or two engines. Ito po, it's from a multi-rotor technology, meaning it's flying using different motors or a lot of motors. So if you have one failure, you can still continue your flight. If you have 2 or 3 failures, you can still safely land,
Mhm.
which is a very rare occasion. Yung prototypes po na pinapakita ko sa inyo, that's been flying for about 2 years. Almost no maintenance. All we do is just charge and fly every day.
What is the flight range of this Kyxz?
With our current battery technology, we're looking at around about 15 to 20 minutes flight time.
Mhm.
Siguro you have about 70 to 80 kilometers of speed or cruising speed. So you're looking at yung mga urban, kasi ang tawag nila dito ngayon sa ibang bansa is you can use this for air hopping. Meaning yung mga hindi pwedeng gawin ng helicopter, which is to take off and then lipad ng konti and then land again, it will be too expensive for them. Ito yung pwedeng sumalo kasi it's
Yeah.
electric, eh. When you fly it and you land it, it doesn't matter kasi it's electric.
Is it something that you can charge by solar panels?
Definitely, yes.
Ayun. So,
Um,
very
basically,
flexible application and
yes,
technology.
basically you can get free flights. Imagine that. We can basically get free
Wow.
flights if we have let's say infrastructures na solar panel yung charging station nitong mga to. So every time it lands. Pero right now, these are all designed to do battery swapping, hot swapping, meaning when
Mhm.
it lands, we can just swap the battery and then
Mhm.
charge that one and then fly. So yun po yung pinaka main application niya. If you're gonna use it as an air taxi, because I have a two-seater and I'm also building a four-seater. And yes po,
Sorry,
medyo na
napanganga ako nung sinabi mo four-seater eh. Yung umupo
yes.
lang na mag-isa, medyo sabi ko, ibang klaseng trip na ito. Eh, ngayon may ano yan, aerial combat ba yung sinisimulate mo na yan?
Meron po akong ginagawa na yung actually yung two-seater, nandiyan na po yan sa YouTube. Pinost ko na po yung prototype niyan. Yung
Okay.
four-seater po, yung frame niya is already on construction right now.
Mhm.
And all the materials are already being prepared and to be shipped to Philippines.
Okay, and you are using mostly off-the-shelf parts. Ano ito?
Hindi
Buy
po.
and put
When I
together?
started, I was doing that. But right now, Star 8 was able to fund a company to develop the motors specifically for what I need. So basically, I go to China and then I work with their engineers. I tell them the capacity that I need, the duration it will fly, the temperature it can handle. So I'm working closely with Chinese engineers when we were developing the motors. But now it's all finished. The prototypes are all finished. So ano na lang sila. So produce na lang sila ng produce.
So
Nire-ready na lang nila.
will there be a time when we can produce the components here in the Philippines? Kasi, 40 years ago or 50 years ago, we produced components for vehicles in the Philippines and we still are. Ganun din ba ang plano dyan?
Hopefully po dumating tayo sa ganon kasi we all know if you want to get the cost down, you gotta rely on big companies that can mass produce it in
Yeah.
a good price. But
Capacity.
yes, yung capacity po kasi definitely we can do it here, but baka maapektuhan po kasi yung price to the point na hindi ma-afford ng mga tao yung vehicle.
Okay.
So
Well,
parang sa ngayon po, I think we have to rely on yung capability ng ibang bansa na mag-mass produce ng mga engines, batteries,
mhm.
electronics. And then but all the specs, all the designs are made here in the Philippines, are done by me. And then
Okay.
we assemble the whole thing here. We basically do all the extra engineering here in the Philippines.
Okay, well, Kyxz, we've run out of time for this portion, but I just want to pray that the Lord will bless the work of your hands. Bless your son ba or daughter?
Son po. He's
Bless.
turning 3 this Christmas. He's actually a Christmas baby.
Okay, may the Lord bless your partner or your wife and your son, and bless your endeavor. And judging from what we've seen on YouTube and in the video today and what you've shared, we are proud of your accomplishment. Your sacrifices have been well worth it. God bless you, Kyxz.
Salamat po. Thank you. Thank you for having me. It's an
Okay.
honor. Thank you.
Okay, yan po si Kyxz Mendiola, and it is just so amazing what Filipinos can do. And as Kyxz put it, it takes sacrifice, it takes money and time and effort, but above all, the determination to finish the job. And that is what we have always believed in. Get the job done. We'll go for a break, and when we come back, let's speak with Art Samaniego regarding naman ang sakit ng ulo ng mga bangko sa Pilipinas here on Agenda. Okay, welcome back to the program and heads up to everyone with bank accounts. Hindi naman po lahat apektado, but you know, it is best to be informed. I just got this summary. BDO Unibank account holders have reportedly lost thousands of pesos in deposits due to an online banking scam where unauthorized transfers were made to a Union Bank of the Philippines account with a bogus name. BDO users took to social media starting Saturday, December 11th, to complain that illegal transactions were made using their accounts to transfer money to the Union Bank account of a certain Mark Nagoyo. Hindi po yan Nagoyo, Nagoyo. It is adding insult to injury because the hackers even insulted the victims by saying Nagoyo sila. Okay, the fraud has been massive enough that a public Facebook group called Mark Nagoyo BDO Hacked has since been created with multiple users reporting similar cases of hacking. A common pattern has so far emerged among the victims of the hacking scandal. The alleged criminals were somehow able to access victims' BDO accounts even if they were allegedly careful not to click on suspected phishing links and they did not reveal any of their banking details in public. The BDO clients were surprised to receive email and text notification from BDO notifying them that the bank transfer, usually involving thousands of pesos, was successfully processed. In some cases, the hackers were somehow able to get past the one-time PIN or OTP security feature of BDO to make the illegal transactions push through. In other words, both bank clients and bank were victims. Now, let's go to Manong Art Samaniego, cybersecurity specialist na hindi pa raw nakakatulog sa kakatawag ng mga bangko sa kanya. Manong Art, can you please give us a summary of this situation? What are we facing?
Nag-start siya nag-start siya mga end of November pa yung mga complaint ng mga account holders ng BDO. So nung last week, Monday, sunod-sunod pa rin yan hanggang Friday.
Okay.
Friday, nakita ko na tumaas yung activity, mas madami na. So that day, I warned my relatives and friends and of course, editors sa Manila Bulletin to check their BDO account because I detected some activities. Hindi siya normal na activity. Tapos ang dami ng complaint sa social media. Pero bumuhos siya nung Saturday, as in ang dami ng nagreklamo. Gumawa na sila ng Facebook group sa social media. Tinawag nilang BDO Online Account Hacking Victims yung Facebook group. So as of now, meron na silang 238 members. Na lahat daw dito, lahat sila ano siya limited siya to victims lang talaga. Itong na to. So what I did was, I checked the profiles of the members, tapos kinausap ko yung merong above average computer skills, saka knowledge in cybersecurity, tinignan ko. So I was able to talk to a systems administrator, to a BPO agent, and to a cybersecurity engineer of a telco. Kinausap ko sila, ano ba nangyari? Ba't nawalan kayo ng pera? Wala silang kinlik na link, walang nagpadala sa kanila ng SMS, so hindi siya smishing, wala silang pinuntahan ng mga websites. Pero naka-receive na lang sila ng notice na nabawasan yung pera nila. So this shows na hindi siya phishing, walang phishing attack na nangyari, walang phishing attempt. And these
Okay.
people know kung ano ang dapat gawin sa mga online banking accounts nila. So hindi sila mabibiktima ng phishing. So imposible daw na phishing attempt 'yon. Ang possibility nito na bypass ang security ng BDO. So this is a system compromise. Ano lang looking at the data that we have. So this is a system compromise. So nag-suggest ang BDO na magpalit ka ng password. So ang pagpapalit ng password, effective lang siya pag victim ka ng phishing. Pag victim ng phishing. So effective lang siya. But if this is a system compromise, kahit ano palit ng password mo, walang magagawa hangga't hindi ma-update yung system.
Okay. Now, what is involved in updating the system? Because I remember when other banks, as far back as 3-4 years ago, updated their system. Inabot sila ng mga 6 months of client inconvenience. Bigla makatanggap kang message, our system is down, hindi ka maka-ATM, etc. Because nagbabago nga ng system. In today's technology and digitalization, what is involved in changing the system or upgrading the system?
So ito yun, ang BDO is upgrading its system. Papalitan na nila tong, sabi nga nila, the 10-year-old web service is for phase out na. Papalitan na nila yan. Pwedeng isa to sa mga problema. Kasi nakikita natin, minsan lumalabas yung testing environment ng BDO. Na nagbabago sila, nag-update sila, meron silang testing environment. Makikita mo lumalabas minsan. This could have attracted the cybercriminal. Nag-update to. Pasukin natin to.
Okay. So parang
isa yun sa mga possibility.
kumbaga, I mean, to do a very pedestrian example, when there is a changing of the guard, habang nagpalit ka ng 2 security guard, sumingit yung magnanakaw.
Namingit yung mga nanakaw. So isa yun sa mga tinitingnan. Ang problema ngayon, hindi pa kasi nagsasalita ang BDO kung ano talaga nangyari. So puro kami possibilities na this could have happened. Also on last Friday, December 10, there was a zero-day exploit that was discovered. Ang tawag sa kanya log4j. This is a lagging sa server na ginagamit ng mga kumpanya. So, pag sinabi mong zero-day exploit, these are exploits na wala pang solution because it's really new. So, pag zero-day exploit ang ginamit against your system at hindi mo alam na meron palang ganong vulnerability yung system mo, mapapasok ka talaga.
Parang Omicron. Bagong variant, hindi mo alam kung ano itong variant na ito, aaralin mo muna bago mo ma-produce yung countermeasure.
Yan yung analogy, sakto. Yes. Yan.
Okay.
So,
yun
yung isa sa mga possibility na tinitignan ko na pwedeng mangyari na, yun nga, baka zero-day exploit yung nangyari.
Okay, but given all of this situation and we commiserate na syempre we don't want this to happen to any bank, not even BDO. How extensive and prolonged will this problem be? Kasi can a bank actually implement a special measure or a emergency measure na okay, freeze the ball, nothing moves, walang lalabas, walang papasok? May ganun ba na protocol for when your system has been hacked?
Ang pinagawa ko sa mga relatives ko, sabi ko, deactivate your online banking access.
Okay.
Pina-deactivate ko. Ang problema nito, meron akong kakilala na hindi niya pwedeng i-deactivate kasi nandun yung negosyo niya sa online.
Okay.
So,
Kasi may nag-text sa akin, Manong Art Cito, humingi ka na ng passbook. Sabi ko, anak ng ewan naman kayo. Pagkatagal-tagal na ako hindi pumupunta sa bangko. Ngayon, babalik na naman ako hingi ng passbook. But Manong Art, kasi we're running out of time. Sorry, medyo na-busy ka kasi kanina. Tanong ko lang, if this happened to BDO, can it happen to other banks, and what should the BSP be doing at this stage? Because Senator Po and Senator Villanueva both have said this is a matter of trust, and the world cannot be told that our banking system is porous.
So this could happen to any bank. So hindi siya exclusive sa BDO, hindi siya exclusive sa Pilipinas. So nangyayari siya sa lahat ng mga bangko because hackers are there waiting for these banks, for these financial institutions to commit a mistake, a simple mistake like not updating their system na pwede nila kagad pasukin. Ang importante ngayon, BDO promised that they will reimburse us sa mga losses natin. So at least may assurance na. Ang isa pa, may connection siya sa papuntang Union Bank. Dapat imbestigahan din ng Union Bank yung mga account numbers kung kanino talaga naka-register yung mga pangalan kasi fake na names yung ginamit Mark D. Nagoyo, GDBD, HDBD. May pangalan bang ganun, di ba? So fake siya. And this is a weakness of InstaPay and not of Union Bank. Kasi sa
but
InstaPay,
can you open a bank account without physically being there, showing documents, etc.? Kasi ang alam ko kasi ako naman maliit lang yung account ko. Kailangan pumirma kami, 6 na signature pa, may kung ano-ano pang information.
Sa Union Bank, hindi. One ID lang kailangan mo. You can do it offline. You can do it online. Online
Paktaylo.
yung lahat.
Okay,
So,
well, Manong Art, I am sure we will, as all of this continues, baka mamaya bigla magkaroon ka na ng special portion sa agenda o program sa Cignal TV, no? Sa One News PH. Anyway, Art, thank you very much for the short interview, but it's good to know that for those of us, we should just disengage our online banking facility for the moment.
Yes.
Okay.
Temporarily gawin mo yan.
Temporarily. Okay, thank you very much, Manong Art Samaniego. Okay, and I leave you with this week's blessing. Blessed are all who fear the Lord, who walk in obedience to him. You will eat the fruit of your labor. Blessings and prosperity will be yours. Your wife will be like a fruitful vine within your house. Your children will be like olive shoots around your table. Yes, this will be the blessings for the one who fears the Lord. May the Lord bless you from Zion. May you see the prosperity of Jerusalem all the days of your life. May you live to see your children's children. Peace be on Israel. That's Psalm 128. And I'm Cito Beltran thanking you. And please do not be surprised if our associate, my friend Ed Lingao, takes over the program. Ako po ay mag-aala storm chaser if that happens down in the Visayas for a few days. And we'll be back here after Christmas. But in the meantime, please join Ed Lingao as he delivers the news and interviews on agenda in the coming days. I'm Cito Beltran thanking you and wishing you a Merry, Merry Christmas. God bless all of you. Keep it here on One News PH.